Good morning, everybody. Today is August 13, 2024, and we keep grinding higher, um, going back and forth between the previous week's high, but sellers can get anywhere. Every dip's being bought again, and we keep grinding higher. We just had the PPI report, and we tested that 54.10 level that I mentioned yesterday. And we're very close to the July low and to the gap fill. I mean, not very close, 44 points, but in this volatility that could happen pretty quickly. If you look at the overnight range, it's 41 points, almost 42. NQ is almost about to fill that gap. The RTH gap is a little higher. It's at 68. But if we fill the gap, I mean, we haven't changed much on the picture, right? So if we look at the profile, we had it's a V-shaped recovery. We're trading now inside this spike. The gap is right here. The first place to look for where sellers are going to be is at the July low, which coincides also with that 21 EMA. So that's the first spot to look for profit taking from this, the people that bought here, and for more sellers to join the party probably. And then the gap fill of 54.44.75. If we get inside this day's range, then the target becomes this point of control, which is the 20-day point of control, and it's the untested point of control from this date. They're all very close, so this is an area to look for. And if we're trading inside here, and we accept prices are above that July low, then the likelihood is that we travel the whole range and squeeze those shorts all the way back to 55.25, and attempt to make higher highs above this range, or balance in this range until the next report, which comes out tomorrow. Well, actually, this whole week we have a few economic reports that are relevant that we should be watching. But if we cannot take this high, which is at 54.17 and change, then we're gonna be trading in this range. The daily is one time framing higher, one time framing up, but now the weekly and the monthly are in balance. So if we take this low, we end the one time framing up and we're back in balance. And you can see that we put a lot of volume in these levels. So we're likely, maybe this becomes the new range between 54.20 and 52.95 until the next move is made. So for today's session, the first thing I'm going to be looking at is, do we stay above yesterday's high and then we keep moving higher towards the gap fill, or do we get back inside yesterday's value? And yesterday's value is the value area high is at 53.80, a little bit below that. And that would trigger a move down to value area low at 53.56. That was what I said yesterday, but then yesterday we couldn't get all the way to the previous day's value area low. We got almost there, but not quite. Today it looks a little more feasible if that happens, because it's a smaller range, and it looks more like a uniform distribution compared to this that looks a little like poor structure, and we stopped you know, right where this low volume node was. So anyway, so today that looks a little more feasible. Inventories about 95% long, so a little bit of a correction should be expected, in my opinion. You know, I don't know if we're gonna get inside, yes, the previous day's value, but that's what I'm watching. Okay. NQ is the same thing. We have that low volume area here, and the gap fill, like I mentioned, is right there at 868. It's the RTH gap, and then we have these sessions are they have value at the lows, so there's gonna be a little bit of resistance here with the 20 daily moving averages at 19,040. But if we get above that, then we're gonna be in this range, and 1920 will be, 19,200 will be the first target, and then a move through value at 19,360. But below, got a clear range here, and the 5-day point of control is at 18,620, and there's, if we get below that, this level right here, which is value area low from yesterday, then look to break the lows from yesterday, and then attempt to test this lower area at 18,440. Okay, let's see crude oil. So crude oil broke this lower range that I was talking about for the past few days, after, you know, ripping higher from these lows, moved above all the moving averages, the 200, the 50. So now it's holding here, and I took this this range, this previous range that we had before. It was let me just show you what I did. But so basically, I looked at the previous range, right, which is this area, and then I consolidated all these sessions, and what we have is this distribution, for which right now we're trading inside value of this range, and we already tested the point of control. So what I said in the note this morning is that holding these levels targets the 8160, which is the top, the value area high of this range, this previous balance range. If we get below the 50, which is at right now at 78.80, holding below that, then we're back in this area, and then the target becomes the 20-day point of control, which is at 77.20. And then if that happens, that will be look above and fail. So then the target becomes the 74.40. So traveling back through the whole range is a high probability. Not in one day, but that's usually what we get when we break out of a range and then fail to hold on that range and come back into the previous range. We get to retest the lows, the other side of that range. And gold is still holding pretty well at the 2,500 area. We still haven't tested this couple day balance, so I think this is the all-time high. So wouldn't surprise me to see all-time high soon in gold. But if we cannot sustain this move higher, then look for a move back to 24.68. And We have some Fed speaking today at 1:15, and tomorrow we have CPI and crude oil inventories. We have more Walmart earnings, and we have U.S. Jobless claims at 8:30 tomorrow, and retail sales, industrial production. We have a few things tomorrow. So this week we still have a bunch of stuff to look for. All right, good luck, and remember, this is a volatile market. Keep your sights down, and the first thing to look for is, where am I wrong if I take a trade? And look for how much you're risking. Don't forget that. It's easy to get caught up in the moment when things are moving fast. Take a deep breath, walk away for a little bit if you have to, and come back with a fresh mind and look at where it would be a good opportunity to look for a trade, and then have patience. The best traders have mastered when not to trade. All right, good luck.